It wasn't the podium that defined Silverstone for Ferrari, it was the silence on the radio, the calm in the storm, and the quiet authority of Lewis Hamilton. While much of the world focused on Max, Verstappen, or McLaren's strategy, something deeper was happening inside Ferrari. To drivers, same car, same chaos, yet to completely different outcomes. Charles Leclerc, often seen as Ferrari's golden hope, was left adrift, asking questions no one was answering. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton, without shouting, without blaming, took control in a way that went far beyond racecraft. It was leadership. On lap 13, when the rain came and the grip vanished, it was Hamilton who reacted first. Without waiting, he made the call intermediates now. That decision alone gained him nearly 5 seconds. He didn't need the pit wall's permission. He knew what the car needed. That move wasn't aggressive, it was clear, sharp, and full of experience. Leclerc, by contrast, hesitated, radioed in, and asked, "Do I box?" And in that moment of doubt, a gap opened not just in strategy, but in influence. This was not about a better setup or cleaner air. It was about a driver who imposed his rhythm on the race, who didn't wait for instruction, but trusted his own senses. Through damp corners, fading grip, and near-zero visibility, Hamilton didn't just drive. He dictated. His calm, calculated style turned a difficult car into a sharp weapon. Meanwhile, Leclerc, stuck behind slower traffic, couldn't find the same flow. He questioned, waited, and missed his window. While one Ferrari slashed forward, the other faded into the mist. And when the race ended, with Hamilton in P4 and Leclerc barely visible down in P14, it wasn't just positions that told the story, it was everything that happened between the lines. Hamilton's radio messages weren't dramatic. They were short, sharp, and full of intent. "Let me know the window. I'll manage." That phrase carried weight. It said to the engineers, "I've got this," and they believed him because what Hamilton offers isn't just talent, it's trust. After 17 seasons, 103 wins, and countless chaotic Sundays, he has learned not just to drive in the storm, but to become the calm center of it. Every adjustment, brake bias, throttle lift, gear shift was done with confidence. No panic, no second guessing. Meanwhile, Leclerc struggled with the very same conditions. He couldn't get past Pierre Gasly, lost positions to Alonso, and spent his race fighting the track rather than mastering it. And when the checkered flag came down, his frustration spilled over. He blamed spray, car instability, even his setup. But the truth was simple, both drivers had the same tools. Only one used them to reshape the race. Inside Ferrari, there were no dramatic reactions, no shouting, just quiet awareness. The gap between P4 and P1 wasn't just 12 positions, it was a message. A message that one driver had taken responsibility, not because he had to, but because no one else did. And in that moment, the idea of who leads Ferrari started to change. Until now, the 2026 car has been designed with Leclerc in mind. His preferences, his style, his feedback. But after Silverstone, engineers and strategists are rethinking. Because it wasn't the data that saved Ferrari Sunday, it was Hamilton. His decisions, made in real time, outperformed the pit wall's models. His instincts turned chaos into clarity. And when that kind of performance shows up on track, it echoes through every meeting and simulator session after. Hamilton's ability to adapt was clear from the start. He didn't have the best qualifying. The car wasn't perfect. But when it mattered, he found pace, balance, and consistency. Every lap after the switch to intermediates was like watching a master at work. He didn't need perfect conditions. He needed trust in himself. And as he carved through the field, the Ferrari garage started to see what leadership under pressure really looks like. Leclerc, immensely talented, has shown brilliance before. But brilliance without certainty doesn't inspire confidence. While he asked, "What are we doing?" Hamilton had already done it. That gap is more than words. It's culture. It's direction. This wasn't just about strategy calls. It was about control. Hamilton didn't just control the car. He controlled the race. He saw the rain as a turning point and made it his advantage. Leclerc saw it as a problem and waited for help. And when the track began to dry and grip returned, the gap had already grown to wide. In the debrief rooms, the numbers spoke clearly. Hamilton gained nearly 18 seconds over Leclerc in the final 30 laps. Same tire, same weather, same Ferrari, but entirely different outcomes. That's not down to luck. That's leadership. Ferrari is not in a championship fight right now. Not really. Red Bull is ahead, and McLaren is gaining ground. But inside Maranello, the real battle is internal. Who will shape the team's future? Who will become the face of the 2026 project? And that's why Silverstone matters, because it forced everyone inside the team to confront a hard truth. Leclerc may have history with Ferrari, but Hamilton is already defining his future, his feedback, his presence. His performance, they are becoming impossible to ignore. Engineers are taking notes, strategy. Teams are watching closely, and the drivers know it too. Hamilton's influence doesn't come from shouting or demanding. It comes from results, from making the car better than it is, from reading conditions faster than the radar, from pushing the limits with calm, not chaos. That's what Ferrari saw at Silverstone. Not just a driver who finished fourth, but a leader who could see the road when no one else could. And for a team preparing for a major rule shift in 2026, that kind of vision is priceless. The question now is, will Ferrari listen? There's already talk inside the team. Whispers about shifting simulator time, about building the car's next phase around Hamilton's driving style. And while nothing is official, the momentum is real. Because Formula One doesn't wait. It rewards those who act. Hamilton acted. Leclerc hesitated, and in that split-second difference, Ferrari's internal compass began to tilt. Post-race, Hamilton was measured. No dramatic celebrations, no pointed comments, just quiet satisfaction. He talked about no man's land, but those who listened closely heard something more. He wasn't just describing the gap on track. He was talking about the space between who Ferrari is now and who they need to become. He sees it. He's already guiding them toward it, whether the team is ready to admit it or not. They are already following his lead, not because they planned to, but because he earned it. And that's what makes this moment so important. Silverstone didn't crown a new number one with fanfare. It revealed one through silence, through rain, through strategy that didn't come from a computer, but from experience. Hamilton didn't need Ferrari to change the car for him. He changed the way they think about the car. That kind of shift doesn't happen often. When it does, teams either embrace it or lose their chance. Leclerc's path forward is now more difficult, not because he isn't good enough, but because he's no longer alone at the top. Hamilton's presence changes the room. It changes how engineers prioritize upgrades. It changes how race plans are made. And most importantly, it changes how Ferrari defines success. It's no longer just about podiums. It's about leadership under pressure. And on that front, Hamilton is already delivering more than expected. For now, Ferrari may continue balancing the two. Publicly, they'll speak of equal treatment, of shared goals. But inside, things are shifting. Development discussions are starting to reference Hamilton's setups more. The 2026 design team is taking his inputs more seriously, and the mood in the garage is different. When Hamilton speaks, people listen, because he doesn't just talk about solving problems. He solves them. In Formula One, every team faces turning points. Not always dramatic. Sometimes they arrive quietly in the middle of a rainstorm, when a driver makes the right call without being asked. That's what Silverstone was, a turning point, not because of a trophy, but because of clarity. Because Ferrari saw who they can trust when the skies open and the radar fails. And in that moment, a new leader emerged, not in words, but in action. Hamilton may not ask for leadership, but at Ferrari, he's already taken it, lap by lap, decision by decision. And if the team recognizes what they saw at Silverstone, they won't just follow him, they'll build around him. Because in Formula One, the future belongs to those who lead through the storm, not those who wait for the clouds to clear.